Welcome. My name is Penelope Chatterton. Welcome to Awaken the Dream. My friends, today we're going to talk about spiritual identity through meditation and communion. First off, I want to thank Tim Riley for being an awesome director. He seems to know my every move, so I like that. And then Liz Parker, who wrote an Introduction to the Meaning of the Infinite Way, a great book. If you have any problems with all those books and all those tapes, and you want some little help on how to weave your way through it, Liz can help you. Then there's the group that you can go to. goldsmithglobal.org will help you do a group with Liz and Marty if you want to join with others with a meditation and then sit in silence and have company, because a lot of us don't. So anyway, welcome again, and I'm so honored to be here today because this lecture on spiritual identity has really fit me like a glove. You know, Joel is global. You know, he lived, I think, to be 1964. He's been gone a long time, but he's huge. He's huge. His job of being a messenger, going within and finding his mission is really what today is going to be about, because we all have one. And he starts out by saying, you know, we all have metaphysical teachings, we have mystical teachings. We've all been told how to do things. We've all been told we can claim where we want to go. We can do that route. But you know what he's trying to tell us today with that spiritual identity, with meditation and communion, is it's going within. That is where we need to go. And sometimes we don't get that. So this particular dimension will help us get there, believe me. Yes, this dimension is very interesting. First of all, I love the fact that Joel says we're going to obliterate it. We're going to get rid of it because it's not real. All the fear stuff, all the competition, all the war, all the greed, all the politics, none of that is real. It's from the mind, and the mind of the human being, the mortal mind, is useless. It's just blabble. It's just stuff that doesn't work. It's very interesting to think of it that way, that it's just not real. The only power that's real is the power of love that's within you, that's from God. And from meditation, we have that communion. So, as Joel says, I stand at the door and knock. Go within. The Holy Spirit, the Christ, wants to talk to you. He's constantly there, or it is there, or the energy, or the spirit. Let's call it the spirit because it's spirit. The spirit that was in Jesus Christ, and Gautama the Buddha, and Moses, and Elijah. They all found their inner connection. They all went within and heard the still small voice, and then they got it. And that's where their power came. So we all want the mind that was in Jesus Christ. That's a lot, and it's wonderful, because he's telling us, as of 2,000 years ago, the Christ mind in all of us is very, very active right this minute, and every day that we can remember that and tune in and check in is what this particular lecture is all about. So thank you, Joel. Powerful. And Joel had his ups and downs. He tells us in this particular lecture, if you're frustrated, if you have problems, if you forget, you know, you came into this dimension. All right, I like to think we're a victim to it, but, you know, we came into all of this stuff, and we're trying to figure it out. And you know what's helpful to me? Joel has mentioned in this that we've been around for hundreds of years. Just think about all the incarnations maybe you have had before Abraham became Abraham. Before the world began, we had the divine spark planted within every single one of us. We're individual expressions. I can't say that enough. Can you imagine a God that can handle all of us? Makes me laugh. We're individual expressions where we are heard within, we commune within, we tabernacle, we have fellowship. And that, for some reason, as humans in this mortal plane, is like, well, we were trained that's not the exact place where we want to go, or it's not easy to realize that that's where we have to go. But the lessons we learn in this dimension take us there. And you know, we can be grateful for those lessons. We have loss, we have grieving, we sorrow, we're in pain about a lot of things, we have joy, we have all of it. But it's the pain and the losses that help us go within. It certainly helped me go within to find my mission, which I believe, I'd like to think, was implanted in me hundreds of years ago. And it surfaced in this particular lifetime with the losses that I went through. And all I know is with a dad that was a Christian Scientist and my grandparents, Christian Scientists in the 1800s, that's amazing. I took that baton, and not that any religion is perfect, but what they were doing was they were ahead of their time. And as one of 4 girls, I'm the one that really, really took that baton, because the Infinite Way was ahead of its time. And good old Joel listened, as he was a Christian Scientist. He was a reader at the Boston First Church. He did a lot of healing. He had a studio where people would come. And you know, it was so interesting why that worked beautifully to open him up to healing, because his father was healed of it. He was healed of a Christian Science healing. So when they know that works, that is awesome. But then he noticed the politics that can happen in churches, the one-upping, the whatever. So then he heard that still small voice, and all of a sudden, the Infinite Way was channeled right through him. And he, as I say, he had his ups and downs. He had his losses. He had his financial trouble. He had his physical problems. But he overcame them all with endurance, persistence, and that's a good word. We must persist. We must be patient. I stand at the door and knock. Can you all remember that? That's never going away. That I is God, constantly trying to talk to you, asking you to listen, asking you to be still and know. Be still and listen. Let go of the prattle of the mind. We have a mind that carries on, that hears things that, you know, would like to think, oh, I hope that's not true, but we still hear things that we don't want to hear. That's not real. So that's a big job. How do you get rid of all of that? By being patient, by being conscious of the fact that that's not going anywhere. That should be obliterated. So here's our job. Our job is to obliterate this dimension that's loaded with fear thoughts, competition, one-upping, politics, all that stuff. We're here to obliterate it by not recognizing it, number one. If it comes into your mind, you say, scoot, out you go. I'm not going to honor that. That has to do with fear. There's only love in my heart. I have a heart that's infinite, that will live forever, that was thought of before this world began, and God will be with us no matter what. If we go through hell, if we go through life and death, we are never, ever without the still small voice. We fall for diseases, for all the things that can go wrong. Look at the ads on TV for all the things you could think is wrong with you. You've got work to do about knowing the perfection of you. You're well. You're happy. You have everything. The still small voice, the heavenly riches are within you. And you know, you don't know what God has in mind for you. He's got something that you would never maybe think of as you may be waiting for an inheritance. Maybe there's something much more interesting for you that's waiting for you. He's got that all waiting for you if you let go. Let him decide. Her, it, spirit, sorry. Let spirit decide where you're going today, what you're going to do today. Fasten your seatbelt. Say to God first thing in the morning, it's our day. We're joined. You created me. We are joined within. So you've got a buddy with you. You've got power within you. Moses, oh my gosh, how he got the Hebrews out of slavery. He went and he meditated, and he got that strength. He did not do it alone. He had God working with him. He was able to get the Hebrews out of slavery. I mean, all the miracles that happened with being fed, having lights at night, everything that got him out of there was given to him because he meditated and found strength, as did Elijah, whose folks did not like him. He had to be off into the wilderness trying to figure all of this out, and he did. When he went back, they were waiting for him because he had changed. He knew who he was, and he did miracles, and he did miracles with his folks. So my friends, there's and Paul, Paul knew about the still small voice. Mystics knew. Gautama knew. Anyone who has gone within with spirit knows. This is where life is. This is the only real life, the only real power. Please let me remember to say that. The only power that's real, that works, is the power within your heart. That's just nothing but love. And you have grace, you have guidance, you have peace. Oh my God, we all need that. Love that word. Because each day you can wake up with chaos going through your brain or worrying about something, and you have to breathe. You have to go within. You say, peace, be still. Grace, speak to me. You're with me. We are together. I'm not going anywhere today because you're going with me, giving me strength. That's what I love about this. It's not that you're just going to become a wuss. You're going to have strength. Anything you need to solve. Let's say you have enemies going after you. You'll have strength to forgive them. That takes strength. Forgive them, God. They know. Forgive, God says. Forgive them, they know not what they do. Or Jesus said that. Forgive them, they know not what they do. They don't know, maybe. The divine spark is waiting for them. It will happen. So I do want to say that. Everyone has it in the beginning as an individual expression of God. Everyone got the still small voice. Eventually, we'll all get there. And the lessons we learn in this dimension that are painful help us. It's like, I don't want to deal with that, or that hurts, or I'm suffering because someone's out to get me. Forgiveness. Forgiveness, love your enemies. That's just incredible. Think about that. Love your enemies. They don't know who they are. They know not what they do. So that's very, very liberating. If you want to walk on water every day, you can. Yes, you can. Miracles can happen every day as you surrender things you thought would give you. I mean, think about that inheritance, or the money, or the job, or the perfect relationship, or getting rid of a relationship will make you happy. That's not it. That's not it. That's from the mind that has an imagination that can go in a million directions. Let go of that mortal mind, which is not real, which is trying to brainwash you into stuff that you should be afraid of. Catch it. You will. The more you catch it, the more you'll catch it. The more you'll say, I'm not interested in that because yesterday I walked on water, and why can't I today? Because somebody is knocking on my consciousness. Consciousness. This whole world will, this dimension of fear will be obliterated, and there will only be eventually a complete world of peace and guidance and joy and abundance. And everything you think you need could have surprises for you. I really love that. Just let go. Let the imagination go. Let the fear go. Walk on water. So we've got all of, in the Bible, has so many examples of surrender and miracles. I mean, Jesus was amazing. I mean, the Hebrews would come to him and they would have healing and food and prayer and grace. He had it, he knew it, and he shared it. He was a teacher. And you know, here's another thing. I'm a teacher. You could be an artist. You could be a great writer. You could be a janitor who spreads love everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter. But you have a destiny. You have a talent. It was ordained and given to you. So enjoy it. Go for it. And you know, there are many stages too. Now, I'm a slightly older, white-haired woman who's been a ballet dancer, a singer, a teacher of special needs. I've had so many careers, and it's always amazing to see how one leads to another, and it builds on your strength, your talent, and as you move on, something else always opens up. You can't be afraid to let go of what doesn't feel right. You got that? What doesn't feel right? And then say to yourself, okay, God, what will feel right? Should I write that book? Do I dare? Can I run that marathon? Am I going to win a goal in the Olympics? Think of all the wonderful things that people come in to do. And think, I love the idea, hundreds of lifetimes. We've been around forever. And, you know, I had only one glimpse oh, maybe 20 years ago, of waking up in a marketplace where I heard tinkling and I heard a funny language and it was very dark. It didn't last very long. I woke up and thought, well, I wonder what that was. I felt it was maybe a glimpse that I'd been somewhere else. That's all I got. But I've also, my experience with my animals are really, talk about pain. Oh my God. I know I have a lot of animal lovers that watch this show, but honestly, the greatest love in the world can be your pets. Because they just give. They just give. They don't talk back. And the loss of a pet can certainly wake you up. They can give you passwords. My Miranda, when I pass, and I will be a spirit, and I will live forever, and I don't know who I'm going to see, but all I know is I'm eternal. Before Abraham was, I was. I was created, whole, complete, and perfect with a divine spark and an assignment. And I still can't believe, with all my studies with Christian Science and all the things, the Course in Miracles, all the things I studied before I read my first book of The Infinite Way by Joel. That was it. I literally sat down and I couldn't breathe. I think I wept. It fit me to a T. I don't know, 54 books, lectures. I think you can go to Acropolis Books too. They have e-books. Michael Krupp. I don't know. I think Acropolis Books were heirs to all of Joel's work. And you know, you can order them on Amazon. I mean, it's just an amazing world about finding his books. And as I say, Liz Parker can help weave you through maybe what will help you go from one to another. I didn't have that. Before I knew about Liz Parker, all I knew is something kept hitting me over the head, and I just kept shuffling from one to another, loving every single one of them. And then I got more into listening to the lectures, and that's where I am right now. And where I'm heading, I do not know. All I know is I will be sure to be guided and ask the still small voice, where am I going now? I do think I'm going to be doing this a while. I'm doing it because I'm doing it for me as well as for you. We're all in this together. We're all joined. But as I share, I have. So let's remember that. I think I mentioned it in the last show. Our hearts, as they go out, whatever goes out from the heart is what comes back. So you got to be nice. You got to be loving. To the worst person you know, you want your love to come back to you because that's all you are. Yeah. That's all you are. That's the only power that you've got. And the still small voice, the heavenly riches, the added things, I love that expression, the added things will come to you, and you don't have to know what they are. It's kind of fun not to, because who doesn't want a surprise? Who doesn't want something to come to you that's more awesome than you even thought you could want? Be it money, partners, whatever, job. Just let go. Surrender. Surrender's a great word. Surrender, ask, commune. Joel keeps saying, commune often. You know, as you get into this, you'll find the TV's off more. I'm speaking for myself. The still small voice is such a treat that you'll find you'll want that more and more and more. And you'll say, gee, I'm not alone. You could have the best marriage, the best everything, and you are not alone. When you are alone, you have company. You have everything. Everything you could ever want. Anything you need will come to you if you surrender to the still small voice. Ask every day and frequently. And even Joel said, you know, sometimes I get a touch on the head, and I notice once in a while I get a funny little gasp. I don't know where that came from. I don't think it was mine, but I always think, oh, maybe that's just a saying a hello from the power that be. The power that be, that created this world. And you know, I still feel blown away by the fact that can you imagine creating a world where everybody had an individual expression that only God can work with you? Now, if you're in a room with 1 million people in a group, and somebody came in and said something, everyone will have an individual way to hear it. You hear it by yourself. You are that expression that no one else will hear what you heard. And everyone in that room will hear it differently. I think that's profound. An individual expression. God, how awesome is a God that also, He made the planets, You know, he closes us down at night with sunrises and sunsets, and you know, plants grow and animals are out there, and I mean, this is an amazing world. We did not, you know, do the suns and the planets and you know, we didn't do that. It was created by a genius, someone who loved this world and made it beautiful. So that's something for us to notice. Don't take it for granted that the planets and the stars and everything are in divine order, because they were created by God. So my friends, daily, ask, go within, and you will find as you walk on water and you find little miracles, and I mean crazy miracles, I mean to a loaf of bread, and you'll still chuckle. I had lost something. I just moved, and I had to laugh. The day before today, after a whole month of digging, saying I give up, I don't, who needs that? It shows up. And I thought, that's kind of a nice miracle. I needed it to get ready for the show today, and it just appeared yesterday, and to me, that's a miracle. I had given up on it, and it appeared. So much for my wonderful miracles. But miracles are great too. We all had partners, we all have kids. And you know, that's another thing with our families. We have to leave, when we go into meditating, we have to leave the families, the kids, every concern we have about everybody outside. We go within. We do not bring them with us. No, do not bring them with you. You're alone in this. Leave your concerns outside. And your head will probably say, no, I don't want to, but I'm concerned about this or somebody's health, or I'm sick. You've got to leave everything outside that realm of being within. I'm winding down, and I'm loving what I'm saying, because it's happening to me that I'm more within every day, because I'm finding the TV's off more. I'm relaxing more, about surrendering. When I was widowed, my babies were 4 months and a year and 4 months, and boy, that was a toughie. And how I could worry, and how I've had to let go and just know, you know, they're really mine, but they're not mine. You know, somebody created them for whatever they're going into and going through, and that's very comforting to know that you're not the boss. They're your kids maybe for right now, but they have another destiny that's not going to be one you may know about, which is pretty awesome. So my friends, thanks for listening. Your spiritual identity has everything to do with meditation, communing, tabernacling, share, fellowship. Go talk about what's in your heart. Share, it's your best friend waiting for you. Say whatever you need to say to get that company, to get the relief that you're not alone. It's a wonderful thing to do, and it's so liberating and so freeing and so comforting, as I say. So my friends, thank you for joining me on Awaken the Dream. I will talk to you for sure again soon.